Thank you for staying with us. We still have our panelists with us in the studio. Edward Israelite is here in the studio with us, as well as Dr. Olumiwa Amao, who joins us from Dunedin in New Zealand, as well as Philip Obin, who joins us from Calabar. But, I mean, as we're talking about that long walk to development before the break, this, this sort of movement, even from the politicians, because the issue of ideology also comes into place. Yeah. Politicians don't have ideology, so to speak. I mean, how do we see that changing? Because in 2015, we saw this wave of defections happen. We're seeing it now. What's the possibility we're not going to have the same thing in 2023 and, moving forward?
I think we as Nigerians, we need to, and I'm not trying to be simplistic right now, because I would say people like myself were a bit more privileged than people in rural areas, but we need to come together as a people. Those in the rural areas, those who are not as advantaged as we are, we all need to come together and say that we are not going to take this kind of politics that we practice in Nigeria presently anymore, because this politics that we practice right now is never going to get us out of the economic rot that we have been in over the years. If people, like I said earlier on, if we do not fix poverty, if we do not fix people wanting to survive, if we do not fix people just trying to get by on a daily basis, we will not be able to get them to the point where they can make informed decisions. A voter in America or in Germany knows that at the barest minimum, the government will do X, Y, Z. So he's not able to look at politicians, he's able to look at political parties on another level. Are they going to transfer? Are they going to export jobs abroad? Are they going to do X, Y, Z? But at the point where a Nigerian is making his decision based on election day, who is paying 4,000 naira, who is paying 5,000 naira, then I don't see any hope in the next 4 years, because I feel in 2023 will probably still be here. The guys who have moved to PDP today will wake up tomorrow morning and say, "Oh, these guys have been witch-hunting us all the while we're in the opposition party. Yeah. Now to make them get off our backs, I need to go back into that party, and then we'll just." So it feels like we're just in this continuous cycle of just moving things around without actually. Like we're not moving, like the hamster in the wheel. Like we're just moving, but we're not making progress.
All right, let me bring Dr. Amao again into the conversation. I mean, Dr. Amao, you are the political scientist. We have copied, the system of government, so to speak, now the federal structure from the United States of America. But it seems, we haven't copied that to the letter. So how do we move forward? Which other framework can we bring into the Nigerian political system that will give us that needed move on that chart to the road to development, so to speak, now?
Well, to be honest, I think we copied the theory of democracy, but we didn't copy the practice of democracy, which again is subjective. I also do think, as a physical scientist, that given Nigeria's very cosmopolitan setup, it's not essentially ideal for us to be practicing our own kind of federalism, the way it's being practiced at the moment. I actually think that it would have been better off if it was a unitary system of government, where the concentrating units or the regions, if you like, have autonomy and they're able to exert control and exercise control over their resources. And that way we could be talking about development.
All right, let me just bring Phil quickly, to get his thoughts before we go. Phil, do you think we would have been better off with the unitary system of government? Quickly. You said no.
My answer is no.
All right, very well. I wish we could go further with the discussions, but then I have to say thank you for joining us on the program. Phil Obin, you joined us from Calabar here in Nigeria, as well as Dr. Olumiwa Amao, who joined us from Dunedin in New Zealand. Thank you as well for joining us on the program today. You were going to talk about how you disagree, but make that as quickly as possible.
I would say basically that looking at the way Nigerians are, maybe a unitary system would be abused. I think a democracy actually works. We just need to fix the things around society that would make democracy work for us. Because even if you look at African institutions culturally, if you look at African kingdoms before colonialism began, that people were practicing some form of democracy on the most part. So unitary system would never have worked for us personally.
Well, I mean, we'll just wish for the best for the country. I
Yes.
mean, as we go into the elections as well as the future. But then I have to say thank you as well, Edward Israel Aide, for joining us on the program today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, that's where we are. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. Please stay with us.
When they give me the Percy picture, I'm not going to wear Jalamia white with this thing white, with hijab white. So,
a 20-year-old confessing to killing people on behalf of a cult group begins this week's most viewed videos.
3 of us, we are not going to go to the place. After we reach there, we are not going to enter the person's house and go and kill the person. After that, when we now come back to Brother Sadiq, the gun that we use, we are not going to return him to Brother Sadiq. Brother Sadiq is not going to give me 10,000, but many people is 20,000. They are going to give the people.
If the party thinks that, oh, Buba Galadima, we need you and your supporters, you can't go. And they come to me. They come to me, not I go to them. I'm not returning to them. They should return to me because I am fighting for justice and fair play for everybody. They are fighting for self. That is the difference between us and them.
It is followed in fourth place by the video of a former confidant, now turned political foe of President Muhammadu Buhari, Buba Galadima, blasting the ruling All Progressives Congress as well as the government.
But when they conducted the congresses and the primaries, we found out that they are irredeemable bad people. This is why every bad man, every criminal, every corrupt person is now migrating from other parties, including the PDP, to the APC.
We can't declare from parties, we can't declare from Nigeria. The only thing that there are other consequential issues. That every man...
In third place is the video of the chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Adams Oshiomhole, asking the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, to resign his post after relinquishing his membership of the APC, the party on whose platform he rose to the exalted position.
If, for your personal reasons, which he has enumerated, and we don't need to debate them, you have chosen to go to another family, it is just a matter of honor that you leave the crown in the house that the crown belongs to.
It is dangerous to attempt to circumvent the law to remove the leadership of the National Assembly.
Second place is Kaduna Senator Shehu Sani, warning against the purported plan to impeach Dr. Saraki from the Senate presidency.
The numbers are not there. The numbers to remove the Senate president are not there. And also the numbers to remove those who are on the side of the president or to do anything untoward of the president is also not possible. But it's possible to have a coalition that may not lead to the removal of the Senate president, but may lead to the closure of the National Assembly. And I don't think that is the best thing we should do.
While in first place is the video of residents of Kwara State jubilating over the defection of the Senate President from the All Progressive Congress to the People's Democratic Party.
Well, there you go. Those were the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. However, these defections have heightened the call for the cross-carpeting politicians to relinquish seats obtained on the platform of the party they left. However, some legal gurus have argued against such occurring. As the 2019 general elections approaches, Nigerians will be watching to see what move or moves politicians will make to remain relevant in the scheme of things. And on that note, we wrap it up on the program, but continue via the social media addresses showing on your screen. I'm Victor Matthias. Thank you for watching.